In the heart of a dense, foreboding forest, untouched by the hands of civilization, there stood a place known as the Deep Woods. Legends and whispers surrounded this ancient enclave, tales of eerie shadows, unseen eyes watching, and a malevolence that seemed to seep from the very roots of the towering trees. One autumn night, a group of friends decided to explore the mysteries that lurked within the confines of the Deep Woods, unaware that they were about to plunge into a terrifying journey beyond their wildest nightmares. The moon cast a feeble glow through the thick canopy, creating pools of darkness that seemed to swallow the forest floor. A chilling breeze rustled the leaves, and the friends, armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, entered the looming depths of the Deep Woods. As they ventured deeper, the forest became an impenetrable labyrinth of towering trees. Shadows danced in the periphery, and the distant hoots of owls seemed to carry a foreboding warning. Unseen creatures rustled in the underbrush. Their presence felt more than seen. The friends, fueled by a mix of excitement and trepidation, followed a narrow trail that wound through the twisted trees. The air became heavy, laden with the scent of damp earth and an indefinable unease that clung to the darkness like a shroud. As they delved deeper, the friends began to hear whispers, indistinct murmurings that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the woods. The words were unintelligible, but the ominous tone sent shivers down their spines. The trail led them to a clearing, where an ancient, gnarled tree stood alone. Its branches twisted skyward like skeletal fingers, and the moonlight struggled to penetrate the oppressive darkness that clung to its boughs. Drawn by an unseen force, the friends approached the ancient tree. The whispers grew louder, the voices now resembling anguished wails that reverberated through the clearing. The air seemed to thicken, as if the very essence of the forest was closing in around them. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. Roots slithered across the forest floor like serpents, entwining the friends in a web of twisted vegetation. Panic set in as they struggled against the unnatural restraints that seemed to emerge from the very heart of the ancient tree. The whispers escalated into guttural chants, and the shadows around the clearing coalesced into ethereal forms. Unseen eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, watching the trapped intruders with a malevolent curiosity. In the midst of the chaos, one of the friends, a brave soul named Alex, managed to break free from the entangling roots. Ignoring the pleas of the others, Alex fled deeper into the woods, driven by an overwhelming urge to escape the looming horror. The forest, sensing the disruption, seemed to come alive with an unnatural energy. Trees groaned with ancient grievances, and the ground quivered as if responding to an ancient force that had been disturbed by the friends' intrusion. As Alex stumbled through the underbrush, the whispers transformed into haunting laughter that seemed to chase the lone figure through the trees. Shadows flitted at the edge of vision, and the forest itself seemed to twist and contort, as if mocking the feeble attempts to escape its depths. Unseen creatures, drawn by the disturbance, slithered through the undergrowth. Eyes gleamed in the darkness, and ominous silhouettes moved with an otherworldly grace. Alex, now gripped by terror, realized that the deep woods held secrets beyond comprehension. Back in the clearing, the remaining friends struggled against the ensnaring roots. The ancient tree seemed to groan with satisfaction, its branches weaving with unnatural flexibility. Whispers echoed through the clearing, voices now laced with malevolence, as if the forest itself had become a sentient entity. In the heart of the deep woods, Alex stumbled upon a decrepit, long-forgotten cabin. Its windows were shattered, and an unsettling hush enveloped the structure. Despite the oppressive aura, Alex, desperate for refuge, entered the cabin's decaying interior. Inside, the air was heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. The creaking floorboards seemed to protest the intrusion, and the windows rattled with a spectral energy that whispered tales of the cabin's haunted past. As Alex explored the dilapidated rooms, the whispers in the cabin became more distinct. The walls seemed to reverberate with the anguished voices of those who had once sought refuge within the decaying walls. Shadows danced in the corners, and a chilling wind whispered secrets of forgotten horrors. The friends in the clearing, still ensnared by the roots, felt the forest's malevolence intensify. The ancient trees seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, absorbing the essence of their fear and despair. The whispers became a cacophony, a chorus of torment that echoed through the haunted woods. Back in the cabin, Alex discovered an old journal lying on a rotting table. Its pages, yellowed with age, chronicled the tales of those who had sought refuge in the deep woods, only to become entangled in an ancient malevolence that fed on their darkest fears. The journal spoke of a malevolent force that dwelled within the forest, a spectral entity that thrived on the anguish of those who dared to disturb its slumber. The forest itself was a living entity, a manifestation of an ancient curse that bound it to the shadows. Realization dawned on Alex as the journal hinted at a ritual to appease the malevolent force. The friends in the clearing, now overcome by the forest's dark influence, were unwitting pawns in a supernatural game that had been played for centuries. Driven by a newfound determination, Alex gathered remnants of forgotten rituals from the cabin's decaying shelves. With trembling hands, symbols were etched into the dirt floor, and incantations were whispered in a desperate bid to appease the malevolent force that lurked in the deep woods. As the ritual unfolded, the forest outside the cabin seemed to respond. The wind howled through the trees, and the shadows writhed with an otherworldly energy. The friends in the clearing, still ensnared by the roots, felt the forest's grip loosen, as if the ancient entity itself had momentarily recoiled. However, the ancient tree in the clearing, sensing the disturbance, fought against the ritual's influence. Its branches thrashed with an unnatural fury, and the whispers in the forest grew into anguished screams that echoed through the trees. Back in the cabin, the journal hinted at a sacrifice that must be made to complete the ritual. A choice lay before Alex: to offer something of profound importance to the malevolent force or risk succumbing to the same fate that befell those who had ventured into the deep woods before. Driven by desperation, Alex made a gut-wrenching decision. A cherished memento, a talisman of sentimental value, was offered to the ancient force. As the ritual reached its climax, the forest outside seemed to convulse with a spectral energy that transcended the boundaries of the living. In the clearing, the roots released their hold on the remaining friends. The ancient tree's branches hung low, its malevolence momentarily quelled by the ritual. The forest, though still haunted, appeared to sigh with an otherworldly satisfaction, as if appeased by the offering. The whispers in the woods transformed into a mournful melody, and the shadows that once danced with malevolence now seemed to retreat. The friends, free from the forest's grip, stumbled out of the clearing with a haunted awareness of the ancient force that lurked in the deep woods. Back in the cabin, Alex felt the weight of the sacrifice. The forest, though momentarily appeased, retained an air of quiet malevolence. The journal warned of the delicate nature of the ritual, and the ancient entity, bound to the shadows, awaited the next disturbance. As Alex emerged from the cabin, the deep woods seemed to withdraw into an eerie calm. The once impenetrable darkness now held a subdued presence, as if the malevolent force had temporarily receded into the depths of the ancient enclave. The friends, shaken by the supernatural ordeal, made their way out of the forest. The once daunting shadows now seemed to reluctantly release their grip, and the distant whispers of the deep woods echoed behind them like a haunting melody. As they stepped out into the moonlit night, the forest exhaled a chilling breath that whispered tales of ancient curses and spectral entities that dwelled within its depths. The friends, forever changed by the ordeal, left the deep woods with a newfound respect for the unseen forces that lurked in the heart of the ancient enclave. News of the supernatural encounter spread through the nearby town, and the deep woods became a place shrouded in an unsettling reputation. Locals, though drawn to the mysterious allure of the ancient forest, now approached its boundaries with caution, their footsteps echoing with a sense of trepidation. Alex, burdened by the knowledge of the ritual, became a guardian of the deep woods' secrets. The ancient journal was passed down through generations, a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture into the heart of the foreboding forest. Years passed, and the friends, haunted by the memory of the deep woods, found solace in the passage of time. The supernatural ordeal became a distant nightmare, and yet the whispers of the ancient forest lingered in the recesses of their minds like a ghostly echo. The ancient tree in the clearing, though momentarily appeased, continued to stand as a sentinel of the malevolent force that dwelled within the deep woods. Its branches, twisted like the hands of fate, cast eerie shadows on the forest floor, a reminder that the ancient entity awaited the next disturbance. One stormy night, a group of intrepid explorers, drawn by the allure of the supernatural, decided to venture into the deep woods. Unaware of the ancient force that lurked within, they followed the trail that wound through the twisted trees, their flashlights cutting through the impenetrable darkness. The forest, sensing the intrusion, seemed to come alive with an unsettling energy. Whispers echoed through the trees, and the shadows danced with a malevolent grace. The ancient force, though momentarily appeased, stirred in the depths, awaiting the ritual that would once again bind it to the shadows. As the explorers delved deeper into the forest, the whispers transformed into haunting laughter, and unseen eyes watched from the shadows. The air thickened with an oppressive malevolence, and the ancient entity, hungry for the fear of the living, prepared to unleash its spectral wrath. In the heart of the deep woods, the ancient tree's branches hung low with a sinister anticipation. The whispers in the forest coalesced into an anguished chorus, and the shadows, now animated with an otherworldly energy, converged on the unsuspecting explorers. And so, the tale of the deep woods continued, an ancient narrative woven into the fabric of the forest itself. The living, drawn by the mysterious allure of the enclave, walked a path fraught with supernatural peril, their footsteps echoing in the haunted silence of the ancient trees. The deep woods, a realm where the line between the living and the supernatural blurred, awaited the next chapter of its eerie story.